Welcome to the first episode of Ram Center for the fall 2015 semester. On this episode, we have football, volleyball, soccer, interviews, schedules, and brand new features, all coming up after the break.
Oh, hello there. I am Russ, host of the non-award-winning Ram Center, Ram TV6's weekly sports highlights show. Do you like bone-crushing hits? Do you like rim-shaking dunks? Do you like spectacular catches? How about acrobatic goals? Do you like thunderous spikes? Do you like sports, period? Then I encourage you to tune into Ram Center every Monday through Friday during the fall semester for all of your football, volleyball, soccer, and basketball highlights. It is your chance to catch up on all the previous week's highlights, as well as new segments like Ram Rewind. Coming in fall 2015, Ram Center, your weekly look at Angelo State sports highlights, only on Ram TV6 and YouTube and Facebook, but mostly on Ram TV6.
Well, it's another fall semester here at Angelo State. And with that comes football, volleyball, and soccer. Let's take a look now at the football preseason special.
The 2014 Angelo State football season was one to remember. The Rams finished the season 9-3 and won the inaugural Lone Star Conference playoff and advanced to the second round of the NCAA Division II playoffs. Along the way, they scored a school record 473 points. During fall camp, head coach Will Wagner stated that while 2014 had been a very successful season, it was time to stop focusing on past accomplishments and start focusing on what the new season would bring. Coach Will Wagner stated that although they had lost veteran leadership on both sides of the ball, several of the returning team members had stepped up and assumed leadership roles, specifically mentioning wide receiver Talon Smith and defensive end Clayton Calicut. Let's take a look at some of the 2014 highlights courtesy of AngeloSports.com. goals for the 2015 season are much higher now, and with success in recent seasons, the expectations are even higher. Much like the Dallas Cowboys of the 70s, the Rams aren't rebuilding, they are simply reloading. With the recent pick as the preseason favorite in the Lone Star Conference, the target is squarely on the backs of this year's team. Returning senior Kyle Washington, the 2014 Lone Star Conference Player of the Year and the 2014 Academic Player of the Year, became the first ASU player to throw for over 3,000 yards in a season. He also set an ASU school record by throwing 34 touchdowns. He added 911 yards on the ground to go with 9 rushing touchdowns. He was also recently selected as the 2015 preseason Offensive Player of the Year for the second year in a row. On the defensive side of the ball, Crosby native Clayton Calicut returns for his senior season and was named by Lindy Sports as a 2015 preseason All-American. In 2014, Calicut had 8 sacks and 20 tackles for loss on the way to winning the Lone Star Conference Defensive Lineman of the Year award. He now has 20 sacks for his career and ranks 4th all-time in the Angelo State record books going into his senior season. Overall, the Rams returned 7 starters on each side of the ball and 36 letter winners from last year's team. They are currently ranked 15th in the Sporting News Division II preseason poll and 17th in the Lindy Sports preseason poll. The Rams open the season at LeGrand Stadium on September 3rd. Don't forget the Ram Jam going on across the street in the LeGrand Alumni and Visitor Center parking lot from 4:30 to 6:30 that same day. There will be free food, a pep rally, and musical performances. The game itself will start at 7 p.m. across the street at LeGrand Stadium at First Community Credit Union Field. Come on out and support your 2015 Rams football team.
As Russ mentioned, the first football game of the year was played on Thursday, September 3rd. Let's take a look at the highlights.
The Angelo State Rams football team faced the Oklahoma Panhandle State Aggies in a non-conference game to kick off the season on Thursday, September the 3rd. Kyle Washington began his senior season with a strong statement. He tallied 291 yards through the air on 22 for 32 passing. These totals included 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. As if that was not enough, he also added 91 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground, including this beautiful 74-yard scamper in the third quarter. His efforts led to him being selected as the Lone Star Conference's Offensive Player of the Week. He was not the only one receiving honors this week. Sophomore defensive back Fred Lawrence was named the Conference Special Teams Player of the Week thanks to this spectacular 93-yard punt return. Overall, the Rams piled up 566 total yards on the ground, including 27 first downs. Tyler Middleton added 78 rushing yards to the attack on only 7 carries. Talon Smith hauled in 6 catches for 155 yards to lead the receiving corps. Donovan Thompson also added 96 yards and 2 touchdowns receiving. Coach Will Wagner spoke to Angelo Sports after the game.
Fired up about the outcome. Always nice to come out with the W the first game of the season, but obviously there's a lot of things we've got to work on. Giving up 2 touchdowns on special teams, numerous offsides by our defensive line. Those are things that we can correct before next week. I thought we started off slow. It just seemed like the first half we had a hard time getting in the flow of things. The second half we came out. Kyle had a great run for a touchdown. We started gelling a little bit more, and so those are some good things. Obviously, there's always improvement, and we got an extra couple days before we head to Western State. Our crowd was great, and that's something that we've fed off since last season, and to come back out this first game to have this type of crowd on the first night, on Thursday night. Our students were loud, our fans were into it, and we really appreciate that, and hopefully we can build on it and have that same outing October 3rd.
The ASU Bell soccer team is coming off a season in which they won 16 games, the best mark in program history. They earned an at-large bid to the NCAA Division II tournament and advanced to the second round. Even bigger things are expected for the upcoming season. During fall camp, Coach Travis McCorkle spoke with Angelo Sports.
The main thing that we want to do is get on the same page. We want to get the freshmen and the returners both to understand their roles and responsibilities defensively, offensively.
I think we're capable of going all the way to the national tournament this year, especially with just how the girls have been acting and how we've just been all on the same level of wanting the same things, and I think we're just all ready to get back on the field this year.
It's good. I mean, listen, in our fitness test, the first one that we did, normally I would say we probably would expect 7 to 8 people that don't pass. And today we had 4 that didn't pass, so that's really great. That speaks a lot for our incoming players, and it also, I think, speaks highly of our returners pushing those freshmen over the summer. Hey, get fit, get ready to come in and make a difference for us. Well, hopefully, listen, we want to win every game we play in, so our goals are to do that each game, each individual game, and see where it takes us. Hopefully this year, we'd like to win some things. Well, hopefully our attack is going to be a little bit more potent than it has been during preseason. We want to see our freshmen feel comfortable or start to gain that confidence, and then we want to see our defense, have a good start to the season. We want to see on the road where these games are the toughest environment, where we're away, we don't have our home fans, we're sleeping on a different bed. We want to see if our girls can overcome that and still find a way to win. I think that our organization in the back is going to be important. It's been something we've been focusing on for a while now, and we want to see that start to show some results. And then probably our attack, as much confidence as we've shown in them, we need to see them, put numbers up on the scoreboard.
Coming up after the break, we take a look at the 2015 Bells volleyball team. The 2015 Bells volleyball team returns with even higher goals than 2014. Last year, the Bells finished second in the conference and gained a berth to the NCAA Division II regional tournament. Coach Chuck Waddington returns for his 8th season at the helm. He has led the Bells to 20 or more wins in 6 of the last 7 seasons. Joining the coaching staff this year is assistant coach Ben Farmer and graduate assistant Ashley Davis. Coach Waddington spoke with Angelo Sports during fall camp.
Well, we're in day 4 of our preseason. We came in on Monday, was our first practice, and to have competition on day 4 is a little early, but you know, there were a lot of good things we saw out there on the court. It's a lot of stuff we still need to work on for sure. You know, for us, we know it's a progression we got to get to, you know, from point A to point B, but we got to work hard to get it done in the gym for sure. Graduated an All-American libero in Shelby Wilt. You know, that's a big loss for us. We have some pretty quality players. Like Katie McClay is going to fill her spot, and I think she's going to do great. We return an All-American setter who was not here last year, Maggie Jo Kafuri, who will make a big difference for us on the court. Great player, makes things happen, makes her teammates better. You know, but we were pretty young last year, mostly freshmen and sophomore on the court, so we've got a lot of experience returning, so we hope to do big things this year.
Over the weekend of September 4th and 5th, the Bells kicked off their season with a 3-game sweep, winning 9 of 11 sets. Let's take a look at the highlights.
It's kind of hard when that happens, whenever you win 2 matches and then the next 2 aren't yours, especially in your home gym. But it was really critical to have a good defense at a critical time and to make sure our block was focused on the last set. It kind of fell apart a little bit in games 3 and 4, but in 5 it came right back. We always started the match out 4, they were always 4 up on us, and then we would have to dig out of that hole. So we had to make sure that we fought for it. So,
you know, but everybody in the country is doing it. It's no different for us. We have to be prepared to win. against good teams, even when we're tired. And that's what the preseason's about. That's why these kids train all summer long. They came in great shape, ready for us. And so it's nice for me to see.
Well, that brings us to the end of another episode of Ram Center. We would like to thank the Angelo Sports Athletic Department for the use of their sports highlight footage. You can check out updated scores, stats, and schedules at angelosports.com. I'm Vincent Salazar, and we hope to see you again on the next edition of Ram Center.